Hey, thanks for coming back to my channel. I know by the title you are like, oh God, what is she gonna talk about? Yes, I was 30 years old and pregnant. Okay? So, this topic is kind of, taboo for some people. Some people don't like talking about it. Some people just are not open with it. And my situation, I can relate to a lot of people, especially being a single parent, and just speaking my truth. So I was with my children's father for on and off for 12 years. And we were coming to a close of our time together literally right before I found out I was pregnant. So I was in my mind thinking like, we're not going to work out. We had broke up and got back together. And it's like he was doing everything right, but it was just still a huge disconnect. So I had often had conversations with him, casual conversations about, what he wanted in life. He was content with where he was. I had, goals I wanted to accomplish. At that time, I was in my master's program as well, too. And it's just like he had no motivation whatsoever. He was just content. So just simple questions saying, hey, what city do you want to move to? Or we were discussing marriage at that time. And I just, felt that it was certain things that needed to be done on both ends before we could actually go forward with marriage. We were looking at counseling. He was open to it because we had a lot of baggage in our relationship to where it was just time just to clear the air and just to keep moving. So our relationship started getting it just started just branching off to where it wasn't nothing for a while. He was more interested in just me, but not really growing with me, if you know what I mean. So New Year's Eve is what really did it for me. We spent Christmas together, which was okay. It was very quiet because I'm used to being around my family, but it was what it was at that point in time. When we got to New Year's Eve, we went out to dinner, and he was just complaining the whole time, complaining about waiting to eat. Mind you, I'm the one that made the reservations. He didn't call. I'm the one that decided where, I asked him where we went. He said he didn't care. He just wanted, barbecue. Okay, fine, whatever. So then I had to drop off some stuff to my job, and he was complaining about that. I was like, I need to drop off this load to my job so I don't have to worry about doing it later. Literally, the marina where we were watching the fireworks was literally 15 minutes from the office. Okay, fine, whatever. He's complaining the whole time about, lugging the stuff in. And I'm just like, it's New Year's Eve. Let's just get this in there. We got to the marina about maybe 30 minutes before it hit New Year's. So, okay, fine. We get to the marina. He gets out the car. And I think at that point in time, I was just more so thinking like, I'm over this whole situation. We're not growing. We're not going anywhere. He has no ambition. And he's only really more so interested in what I got going on, just me, but not really trying to grow with me. He said he wants to be with me, which that part he has showed, but there's just nothing there. And I started thinking that I really honestly didn't have any interest. So let's just be real. This is my truth. So it may be different from yours, but this is my experience. So he's sitting on the hood of the car like a teenager. Everybody's outside with their family. I just got the vibe that, it was just not the time to even have a conversation. I couldn't even celebrate. I was so lost in my thoughts to where, about us not working, to where I didn't even realize the countdown had already happened. That's how just not there I was. So after the countdown, he gets in the car and I say Happy New Year's to him, and he just says nothing. Okay, fine. So I decided that it was time to separate ways. We fell asleep, woke up the next day, and I had said, what, we're not gonna work. It's been too many years, of us just trying to fight for, it's not even fight anymore. It's just not going to work. So we came into a mutual agreement that this was it. So I talked to him for a whole week. He called me like a week later, which was a Sunday, and he had said that he wanted to talk to me. I was like, okay, well, I guess, we can have a conversation if you want closure, but I don't really want to talk about anything. So he comes over, and it was weird because earlier that morning I went to church, but before I went to church, when I left the house, I had to eat. I was so hungry. I had to eat. I stopped before service to eat, and I felt so much better. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. It felt like I just was starving. So then, after that, he comes over and he wants to talk, and he says that he missed me. And at that point in time, I was just like, I understand. I said, but we are, going two separate directions. So he takes me out to dinner. We get to the restaurant, and I can't eat. Like, I start feeling real sick. Like, I had my head, like, etiquette is everything. I just felt so sick. I was just like, I don't know. The room was spinning. The waitress was like, are you okay? And I was like, no. I was like, I really just don't feel good. So I got some Sprite. So I was just sitting there thinking, like, why do I feel so sick? Like, just trying to think, like, what did I eat that made me not feel so good? So I couldn't, in my mind, I couldn't think, because I was clean eating for a whole year. Like, I hadn't drank anything, no liquor, no wine, no nothing. So I was like, well, it didn't feel like food poisoning. I was just feeling so weird. So I was just thinking, like, nah, it can't be that. Then I remember I was using this app called Glow. But my cycles are so irregular to where I just didn't think, I didn't think. So I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. So I go, I had him take me to the store. Went and got a test. By the time I got home, I was just so sick to where I just wanted to lay down. I didn't want to do anything else. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat my food, like nothing. It just did not. It just wasn't appetizing to me. So he ends up like falling asleep on the couch because I slept in the bed. I just, I think he knew that I just didn't want to be bothered. So wake up, get ready for work. Next day, he offered to take me to work. It's like, okay, fine, because he knew I wasn't feeling too good. So yeah, took the test. Couldn't even put the test on the counter and was positive. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm pregnant. So I told him. He was like, how did that happen? And blah, 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 blah. And he's like, it only takes one time. I was like, yeah, it only takes one time. So at that point, mind you, we still had not gotten back together. I think he kind of just knew that it just wasn't going to go anywhere. So he took me to work. It was a very quiet conversation, just a quiet ride. It was just so quiet. I just was just like, whatever. So I think I texted one of my sisters, and she was like, oh, so excited. And I was just like, I don't know. She was like, how do you feel? And I was just like, I'm happy. I said, but, I'm single. And she was like, it's okay, And I was just like, yeah, okay, fine. It's okay, I guess. So at that point, I made an appointment. I went to a doctor who can confirm the test for me, and they did confirm the test. They're like, oh, congratulations, you're pregnant. And I was like, okay, when do I actually get to see the doctor? Like, oh, well, you got to do this orientation and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, orientation? I said, for what? So pretty much on the calendar, I wasn't going to even find out how far along I was until maybe like 2 months later. And I was like, no. They was like, well, the doctor's, I was like, no, it's okay. So I found a doctor. Lucked up, it was an hour away, but I found a doctor who has over 25 years of experience. Felt comfortable. Okay, fine. So we never got back together, ever. I just felt like the way he came across to me as far as being pregnant was a mood killer for him. So I didn't really talk to him too much. Like, he came to one doctor's appointment. He didn't come to the baby shower, but I didn't really expect him to. I extended an invitation for him, and he just said it's a female thing. Okay, I didn't even argue with that, but whatever. Fine, it's fine. So I went through my pregnancy without him, pretty much. He only really just was interested in me. That's all he really cared about. So I really didn't talk to him, as much. So one thing I can say is that everybody don't even know your business. I did share that I was pregnant with a couple of people that I felt that I was really, really close with. And literally, I got so much backlash from people. Like, I was always a person that was the aunt of everyone's kids, always showing up to everything, always the first one there helping set up, always the last one leaving, helping clean up, running errands and stuff like that. So I remember one person I was really, really close with told I was pregnant, and she was like, "Why would you ruin your life like that? You're so stupid, and you don't know what you're doing." She said, "I was just bragging about you because till somebody's talking about you're doing a thing, you have no children, and you're in your master's program." Yeah. I was in my master's program a few classes away from graduating when I found out I was pregnant. So I never ever. And when I tell you I never missed a class. I was never late on an assignment. And guess what? I graduated with honors. I will do a story time on that in a little bit, but I'm very passionate. When I start something, I like to finish it. So one thing somebody is not going to do is try to downplay me and my accomplishments. It is what it is at this point. That's why you don't ever boast about nobody. Okay? Okay. So needless to say, I don't even talk to that person. I just don't. My parents, on the other hand, I think they were a little taken back by the whole situation because they did know that, like, maybe prior to me, like 2 weeks prior to me finding out that I was pregnant, that I told them I had actually, told them that we had broke up. So at that time, I just went on about life. I really didn't tell them. I didn't post anything on social media. I wasn't depressed. I was more so, actually, I was just busy. I was in school trying to finish. I was, working. So I just took the time to embrace myself. I did, offer extended invitation for their father to be present, throughout the pregnancy. He just didn't. He showed up to one doctor's appointment, smiled when he heard her heartbeat, and that was pretty much it. So one thing I can say is that, not boasting about it, but I got so much love on baby shower. Like, I had so many people show up. I felt good. I was blessed with so much stuff. Like, I did not have to buy any diapers for my daughter until she was ready for pull-ups. Like, who can say that? Like, I didn't have to, even clothes. Like, I had so much clothes, I just had to give it away because it was just so much stuff. So, it was time for me. I was getting closer to my due date. I had another, I was already 30 when I found out I was pregnant. So I was going into the year of me being 31. So I had my birthday. Then a month later, I had started noticing that I was like leaking a little bit, but I still had my mucus plug, my water didn't break. I was still going to Black Infant Health. I went to all their sessions there. I just challenged to a lot of resources. I watched a lot of YouTube. I was very, very open with my pregnancy. I had a support system. So my mom was supported me. My father supported me. My siblings did. My best friend and her family supported me. They made me happy and they made me comfortable. So I don't think I was ever depressed or anything. I think I was just more so focused because I wanted to just make sure I finished school. I wanted to make sure I had everything set for when my baby arrived. Now, I did have a surprise gender reveal. So I would just wanted to, I would want it to be surprised. So when I was, having my issue with leaking, I told my mom. And because I thought I was just, peeing on myself. I didn't know. So she was like, you may want to call your doctor. So I called the doctor and she's like, you may want to pack a bag too. So she's like, your baby's going to come soon. And I was like, oh, okay. So called my doctor. Of course, doctor said, you need to come in as soon as possible. I hadn't taken my maternity photos. So, my friend was there and she was like, okay, let's hurry up and do your makeup and just do this in 20 minutes. She was like, I'll help you pack. And I was just like, no, I didn't really want to take pictures. I don't think at the time I was really just feeling it because I started getting nervous because water was, it was a slow, it was like no big old, it was just like a real slowly. So she did my pictures, and it was so weird because when I was 6 months pregnant, I had to talk with my family, my siblings. They're like, why you didn't post that you're pregnant? And I was like, because I don't want people to judge me. I just didn't. So, and as soon as I posted, oh, did they judge me? A lot of people. Now, throughout this whole time, in my mind, I was like, I'm about to really, have a kid. So I shout out to my job, y'all, because my job really, they helped me out with so much. They gave me a send off, and they really just helped me. I had some people that worked in my office that were very supportive. I made sure that I just continued to channel my energy around people who were positive. I wanted my mental state to be positive. I didn't really have a harsh pregnancy. I was more so just antsy because I wanted to make sure that I delivered a healthy, happy baby. So when I got to the doctor, I was 2 weeks away from my delivery date. So the doctor, he did an assessment, and he said, you have a rupture. So I'm going to probably have to do a cesarean. Now, when he told me that, I promise you, I could not breathe. He looked at me, he's like, breathe, everything's gonna be okay. And I was like, oh my God, like this is not gonna go well. So I got dressed. My mom was in the room. I didn't say nothing. I was just getting dressed or whatever. And then we walked out to the lobby to check out, because I actually had to go to the hospital. I had to be admitted to the hospital. And I still wasn't saying nothing. So the nurse was just, doing everything. She's getting ready to send all the paperwork over to the hospital. I'm still not saying nothing. So she was like, your baby's coming soon. Congratulations. I'm close to tears. So my mom, she was like, are you okay? I was like, yes. So I said, I just need a second. Turned around, went back into the patient room and lost it. Like tears start flowing. I was just like, I didn't know what to do, because I was freaking out. I did not want anybody cutting me open. I was just like, I've never had to experience this before. I watched a lot of birthing videos, but I never watched a cesarean. So the doctor came in. He was like, you are entitled to feel how you feel. He was like, I'm going to do everything I can to help you have your baby naturally. He said, however, at the end of the day, I'm not going to put you or your baby at risk. So I dried my tears, said okay, went to the hospital. Y'all, oh my God, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Okay, 2 freaking weeks. So I got sent home one day out of those 2 weeks to go rest. They induced me 3 times. I felt labor pains. They put that I forgot what it's called, that little thing in you to try to open your cervix. Girl, I was just like, oh my God, I don't want nobody else checking me ever again in life. That's how I got checked so many times. It was just by random nurse. I was like, this is not cool. Like, I said, is this what childbirth is like? So after the 3rd time, I got stuck between 45 centimeters. Doctor came in. He said, enough is enough. He was like, I need to go and get your child. And good thing, y'all, is my children's father, he was there with me the whole time. I called him and he came. He was there. We didn't say much to each other, but he was there the whole time. So I was just like, as long as he's there, that's fine. So they prepped me. My mom, she was like, they're getting ready to break your water. She's going to stop. She was more excited than I was. And I'm just like, nah, they about to cut me open. Like, I'm not feeling none of this or whatever, right? So they gave me an epidural in the middle of a contraction. No, ma'am. No. There's just no way. Then the epidural, the needle, when they put it in, it went to the left of my spine. So I was still having a contraction, and they had to reposition it. So the nurse, she said, whatever you do, do not move. And I said, I'm having a like, she was like, I see the screen. She was like, whatever you do, don't. She was talking to me like, whatever you do, don't move. So I said, okay, fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because she saw my eyes buck. And she's like, where do you feel it? I was like, I feel it to the left. She said, okay. She told the anesthesiologist, she said, she told her, I guess they have like repositioned or whatever. So when I tell you, and then as soon as I got the epidural, like I started shaking a little bit. So the doctor was like, okay, but back up prior to that, when the doctor said, I need to go have go ahead and, deliver your baby. I was like, no, my sister just delivered the same day. I was like, and that was my due date on that day. I said, can you wait like a couple more hours? And he said, you got 3 hours. He said, after that it's go time. He said, we can't wait no more. So he allowed midnight to pass. They started prepping me or whatever. They washed me down with the sponge or whatever. I was still having the contractions, but because my cervix just was not opening. So, okay, fine. So I had got in the room, and then I did text my kid's father. He was there with me, but it was just so many people, and I didn't say much. I was like, I'm scared. He was like, I am too. So we got through it. So I gave birth to a healthy, happy baby. The experience was interesting. I wouldn't trade it for anything because my child was born without any issues. I was very grateful for the doctor. He didn't rush me. The nurses did ask me what my birth plan was. They did try to help me stick with it. And my baby was just born. It's funny because when she was born, the doctor pulled her out and she was smiling. Literally, my baby was smiling when she came out the womb. Like, I was like, who does this? So, it was an interesting experience. What I learned was when things happen, especially for a positive, you make the positive out of anything. Not everybody's going to agree with, what you do or how you do something. But at the end of the day, this is your life. You know what I mean? So I really had to embrace my freedom to be myself. There is another story time for my second child, because you all know I have 2 children, and yes, by the same person, and I'm a single parent, but we will discuss that. This is my channel. I'm speaking my truth, and I'm just being me. So God bless me either way it go, and I am very happy. I have both of my children. I love them so much. So that's pretty much my story time. Like I said, my immediate family supported me. If you're going through something, like this, make sure that you get a great support system. When you accomplish things in life, whether it's childbirth, purchasing a home, getting a degree, getting a great job, your circle will change. It may not be intentional, but your circle is going to change. And it may not always be jealousy. It just may be because some people thought that maybe they should be there too, or they are not ready to let you go on that aspect. But like I said, I had to let go of a lot of people. Even in, when I got my degree, when I was in my program, like I said, I'll talk about that later. But the closer I got to 30, the more people start falling off, in my circle. Maybe like a year ago, I just accepted that. I just didn't understand it. So yeah, that's my story. I know I left out a lot, but those are the important key points. Get you a good doctor, good support system, and remember just to breathe. Thanks very much for coming to my channel, and thanks for listening to my story time. See you later. Bye.